I just spoke for like 10 minutes and then realised it wasn't recording. So please excuse the state of me. I have just got back from the gym, but I wanted to record the intro to this before I start. Basically, I'm going to frog and reknit my Christmas jumper from last year, and I thought I might turn it into a video about me frogging or fixing some early knitting mistakes / just flops. So the first thing I'm definitely going to start with is my Christmas jumper from last year. This is it. This is the Northern Augustins number 4 pattern, and it is so gorgeous, the pattern, but I really messed up on this. Basically, I knit it really well it was my first colour work. It was probably like my second jumper, and I was very pleased with it, but basically I just made a lot of mistakes. Well, not mistakes, but I made mistakes during the blocking process that have completely made it unwearable. So I'll show you it on. Basically what happened is while I was blocking, I lifted it when I just completely blanked and lifted it while it still was soaked with loads of water. So it immediately stretched and grew. And I was rushing because I wanted to wear it for a specific occasion. So then I was trying to put it in the washing machine on a spin cycle, get as much water out, and try to just get it as dry as possible and not stretch it at all. But it did stretch a lot. So this is what we're working with. It looked a little bit better the day off that I wore it, because I think the weight has continued to drag it down. But basically, it's grown massively. The yoke is enormous. So I want to frog it and reuse the yarn, because the yarn is all Knitting for Olive, so it wasn't the cheapest. And I really actually would like to wear this jumper as intended. So I'm going to frog back, start over completely, because my row gauge was also off a little bit. I think when I finished the colour back yoke, I was already about 3 centimetres longer than what the pattern said I should be at, which obviously isn't huge in the grand scheme of things, but when you're short anyway, and then when you block it and it grows exponentially, it makes a huge difference. So and also I feel like it's made my knitting look quite loose where it wasn't actually that loose. So I want to knit it again. My gauge, I think I knit a little bit tighter anyway now. I also knit this on wooden needles last time, and I found it incredibly grating because it has a mohair strand and it was uncomfortable, but I hadn't discovered how much I love ChowGoo needles then. So I want to make quite a few changes. I want to probably just do a regular collar rather than a folded collar. I did really like the folded collar, but I don't know if it was worth the effort, and I have got other projects on the go, so I am going to be trying to finish this in time to work for Christmas. So I might just do a regular collar. If I don't like it, I can always turn it into a folded collar. The sleeves are big and baggy on the pattern anyway, but these are obviously ridiculous due to my blocking error. So I will be probably decreasing a lot more than the pattern suggests for the sleeves, and not doing a folded cuff, because I would like it to actually be a practical jumper where I can roll the sleeves up. I remember I tried to wear this for Christmas last year, and I had to hold my sleeves out the way to get any food from the table, so completely impractical. And then also I have gapy holes under the arms, which I'm much better at avoiding now. So there's no point in me trying to wear this. It needs to be reknit, and I'm okay with that because it was an enjoyable pattern to knit and it didn't take me too long last time. But first I need to frog it, and that's the bit I am not looking forward to. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back to you when that's done. Okay, I might be crazy because I am kind of winging this, but this folded hem is going to be really difficult to unpick, and I think that's just going to be really demotivating. But I think I might just cut the hem off, because realistically, if I'm knitting a size down, I'm not going to need as much yarn, and especially if I'm making the sleeves smaller. So pray for me, I'm going to cut it. Okay, so this is my current setup. I saw someone doing this on TikTok. I'm guessing it helps to just relax the noodliness out of the yarn. Seems to be working quite well, but I am just trying to do it at the right pace. So that method actually worked really well, and I've managed to salvage all my yarn and cake it back up. So I finished that yesterday, and then yesterday evening I started re-knitting the jumper. I started with the yoke, and this is how far I've got. So the original pattern has you starting with the folded collar. You do a provisional cast on, knit the collar and knit it together, and then carry on knitting the yoke from there. Now I wanted to start with the yoke because I think that if I have to add the collar afterwards, it should kind of strengthen it a little bit, and I feel like it's quite a heavy jumper, so I would rather add that little bit of extra strength. And also I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to do a folded collar or just a regular collar, so I thought I can make that decision at the end, and also I can make that decision based on how much yarn I have left to do it. I've basically managed to save all the yarn. I did cut off the hemming or the ribbing on the bottom of the jumper because I couldn't be bothered to deal with that bit, but it is there and available if I do need to, but I don't think I will because I am going to knit this in a smaller size. So yeah, so far fits on my head. This is where the yoke is coming up to on my body. So I have about the same length again to knit in the chart, and then it'll be time to split for sleeves. So hopefully my row gauge is better this time, because that was a problem last time. Well, it wasn't a problem, but it was super baggy. So hopefully that has corrected a little bit. But yeah, I think that's pretty good progress for an afternoon and an evening's work. So I'm probably going to leave it there for today because I need to do some actual my job work. But yeah, I don't think this is going to take me that long to knit at all. It is knit on 6mm needles, so it does knit up fast. I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. The only thing I would say is that I find that the increases are really noticeable, but I think I thought that last time, and then when I blocked it I couldn't see them so much at all. So I'm just going with trust the process on this, because yeah, they just look like really noticeable to me, and it's making me wonder if I should have done a different increase, but I just literally did the one that the pattern said. Not sure, but that's it. That's where we're up to.
Because, okay. Looking back at it, you're the only one that knows.
Well, no, but like, literally, have you seen what people...
So I actually got quite a lot of knitting done yesterday, so this is where I'm up to. I think I had a couple of rounds left of the colourwork chart when I started yesterday, so I've probably knit about 4 or 5 inches, I'm guessing, maybe 4 inches. So I think I can probably get quite a lot more done today, depending. I do have some work to do, but in between working, I have to say I'm so happy that I've just restarted this, because already it just looks so much better. I look back at how it looked before on video, and the colour work was literally like down here, and obviously it will still grow a little bit when I block it, but I'm going to try and keep it quite similar to how it is now. So yeah, really happy that I did decide to reknit this, because it just, when I actually looked back at the video of me wearing it before, it looked absolutely ridiculous. Even though I really like the look of the sleeves in the original pattern, they're very like drapey, I don't think it's very practical, and I want to be able to wear this quite a lot, so I'm potentially going to decrease quite a lot on the sleeves, but I haven't 100% decided yet. So I'm just going to keep trying this on as I go, because I'm also not sure how long I want it to be, so I'm just going to try to do regular try-ons and make sure that I'm happy with how it's going. But yeah, so I think it's been about, I'd say I've been knitting this for about 4 days now, so it has been really, really quick progress, I think, because it's knit on 6mm needles. So I'd like to think that I can probably get this done in about another week. I don't want to absolutely do my hands and wrists in by rushing it too much, but I think that probably another week and I can safely have this done, and then it'll be ready just in time for December basically, so I can wear it all through December. But yeah, very, very cute, very happy with the way it's turning out. I think knitting the collar after was a good choice as well, just to maintain some more structure in it. I think probably going to do a folded collar, that's what I'm leaning towards, but a shorter one than the one in the pattern as well. I don't think I have a particularly long neck, so I feel like a shorter collar will suit me better. But yeah, that's where we're up to, just a little update for you. So I think it's been about a week and a half since I started this project over, and I just started the ribbing of the body today. At the minute, I am a little worried that it might be too short, but in the past I always make the mistake of knitting jumpers to the exact length that I want them to be before I block them, and then obviously they do always grow a little bit with blocking. So I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes. That is the point of this project and redoing it. So I'm trying to trust the process. I do still have probably another 2 inches of ribbing to go, so I'm not panicking or anything. I mean, overall this just fits so much better than the first time around when I knit it. I might actually try and find a video of the before blocking process that I posted on TikTok so I can insert that and show the difference in the fit before blocking this time around versus last time, because honestly it's crazy different. But yeah, she's looking good. I've decided to do 2x2 ribbing on the hem just because I like it and I feel like it goes nicely with the pattern. I'm not going to do a folded hem like the pattern suggests. On the pattern, the collar and the hem of the body and sleeves are all folded, and for me that just made it very heavy, and I do want this to be more practical than my first version, so I'm not going to do that this time around. I have finally learnt that I don't need to follow patterns exactly. If they don't work for me, I can just make changes. So I'm going to do just a regular hem. I'm just hoping it doesn't flare too much, but it is on the needles right now, so I think that's why it's just looking like that. I haven't been feeling very well today, so I've just been chilling on the sofa and working on this. I reckon with the rate this is going, I can probably get this finished completely in another week, which means it'll be ready to wear to all the festive occasions that I have coming up in December.
You want to tell me you could not think of something yourself. What do you know what to do?
Okay, I can't remember exactly what I showed of this when I finished it. I did finish this like a week and a half ago, and I literally finished it with a couple of hours before I wanted to go out and I wanted to wear it for my Christmas do. So I steam blocked it that day because I wasn't too worried about wet blocking it and actually washing it, because I had already blocked this wool before in the first iteration of the jumper. So I knew it wasn't like dirty, if you know what I mean. But I do want to wet block it because I would like to stretch the sleeves a teeny tiny bit. So obviously I worked the sleeves out differently this time with a tighter cuff, so they'd be more practical. But I did find that when I was wearing it out that night, I was just constantly pulling them down a little bit. They were just riding up a little bit more than I'd like. So I'm going to wet block it today. It's Christmas Eve, by the way. I'm going to wet block it today. If it's dry for tomorrow, I'll wear it in the evening tomorrow on Christmas Day. If not, I'm not too fussed anyway. We're going out for a meal, so I was going to wear something a little bit fancier, but I was hoping this would be done for the evening so I could wear it when we're hanging out back at the house. But if not, I'm not too worried. I got to wear it for the occasion I wanted to. I wore it for our staff Christmas do, and then I wore it the next day for Friendmas, which was the 13th and 14th of December. So I got the wear out of it that I wanted, but I would like to wear it maybe Boxing Day as well. So gonna wet block it now, and my house is pretty warm and things tend to block pretty fast in our drying room, so I might be able to get it ready for tomorrow, but no dramas if not. But when it is completely dry, I will show the final thing. Okay guys, the final block is done and this is what she's looking like. So the sleeves are still a tiny bit short, but honestly, with the practicality that I wanted from them this time around, I actually don't mind at all. It didn't really grow much anywhere else with blocking, but I didn't try to make it grow. And it's just really relaxed, the stitch definition. So overall, very happy with the outcome. I'm really happy that I did bother to frog and reknit this, because it was just not going to get anywhere in its previous iterations. So it was absolutely worth it, considering how much I spent on the yarn and the fact that I did really like the colourwork yoke. It was definitely worth it to reknit. And this one is still not perfect, I will say. So what I actually did with the red, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I didn't order heavy merino, I ordered merino. So it was too thin, and now the first time around when I knit this, I didn't realise for a few rows, and then I did, and then I started doubling it. And it looked like a smoother transition than it does this time around. This time around, basically, I thought I would try and be really clever. So I decided to start off with just one strand of the merino, but also to play with colour dominance. So start with the beige being the dominant colour, and then to switch at some point, and then to add in the heavy merino. The idea being that it would like transition the red up to being thicker, but actually I think the transitions are pretty clear. So it didn't really work that well, but I don't really care too much about that. I think the rest of the jumper looks so nice, and with the 2x2 rib and everything, I just think it has like quite a professional feel. So honestly, don't really mind this. It is a reminder that the jumper's handmade and that mistakes do happen, but it doesn't look terrible, I don't think, anyway. So just to reiterate the changes I did make to the original pattern. The original pattern has you start with a folded collar, you do provisional cast on, fold it down, and then continue knitting off the collar for the yoke. I decided to knit the yoke first this time and add the collar afterwards. I just think that reinforces the jumper a little bit better. It feels a lot more secure than last time, but also last time I was dealing with my blocking mistakes, so that could just be completely down to that. And the other changes I made are that I did 2x2 rib on all of the cuffs, and I decreased quite drastically towards the end of my sleeves just to give them this kind of ruched balloon, kind of, not quite balloon, but you know. And I did that because the original sleeves on the pattern are incredibly wide, and even though I love that kind of shape for a sleeve, I wanted this to be a more practical wear. I am knitting some other jumpers with big wide sleeves like that, but sometimes when I'm knitting all my jumpers oversized with big wide sleeves, I'm like, I will never be able to wear any of these to work because they are just inappropriate for my job. So I want to take this one a bit more practical. I'll just wait for my cat to finish being dramatic with the litter tray. So that's all the modifications I made to the pattern, and the only other thing I did differently is I knit a size down this time. So last time I knit the size, I think it's alphabetical, so I think I knit the size C, it was the third one anyway. This time I knit a size B, just for less overall positive ease, because again, I wanted this to be a practical jumper, mainly one around Christmas time and at work, and so for that reason it doesn't need to be hugely oversized, even though it's how I like my jumpers in general. I don't know if you can hear this, but my cat is so dramatic with the litter tray. But yeah, overall, super happy with it, and I'm going to post the video again of the before version so you can see. Let me know which one you prefer. I do feel like some people will still prefer the before version because it's super oversized and really nice and drapey, and I totally get that. It was a nice jumper, it was just way too big to be practical, and honestly it had grown a lot since that video anyway, so you know, I was always going to change it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I think that's it. I'm going to wrap this up here. If you liked this, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Bye.